The Common Sense Conservatives are led by Pierre Poilievre, the next Prime Minister of Canada. And here's your chance to meet the rest of the Common Sense Conservatives who will restore the promise of Canada by axing the tax, building the homes, fixing the budget, and stopping the crime.
So we are here today with Jamil Jivani on Meet the Common Sense Conservatives, and Jamil is the newest member of the Common Sense Conservative team here in Ottawa. Of course, he's always been a Common Sense Conservative, but he's new to the team here in Ottawa. Just elected very recently in a by-election, and so Jamil, tell us a little bit about you. You're obviously knocked on a lot of doors throughout your campaign.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you're hearing from people in your riding, and what you're going to be able to do on their behalf here in Ottawa.
Yeah, well, my riding's just east of Toronto. We're in Durham, so Oshawa, Bowmanville, Curtis, that's kind of the area. And probably similar to most parts of Canada, the biggest issue at the doors was affordability. We knocked on over 100,000 doors for this by-election campaign, and the common thread between all generations, all cultural backgrounds, regardless of the kind of neighborhood someone lived in, everybody's concerned about affordability. And for me in particular, I'm 36, I'm a millennial, and so when you knock on doors and people my age would answer, a lot of them being young parents, it's just the concern over what is the future of the country going to look like for their kids when they're older. And just the fact that people feel kind of stuck where they are right now. They have dreams of wanting to own a bigger house or move to a nicer place, and they just feel like they're not going to have those options because the cost of everything keeps going up. I think that feeling of kind of having your wheels stuck and you can't move forward, I just constantly heard that all across the riding during the by-election. And now that I'm here in Ottawa, I see that that's what a lot of us are trying to fight for and hold this government accountable so we can bring the cost of living down.
Well, you've already been a huge part of that team here in Ottawa, fighting, for that, those opportunities and that hope for people. And speaking of that hope, you've got a really inspiring personal story. And could you just maybe share with folks a little bit about your personal story?
Yeah, I always like to remind people that MPs can go through a lot of different experiences before we get here. In my case, I was considered illiterate when I was in high school. I was one of those kids, like many others, who you just don't really get to hear their stories because they just get caught up in the circumstances of life. I was blessed with mentors and support and able to go to university and then go to law school. And after I finished law school, I got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And so I've had life throw a bunch of curveballs at me. And one thing that I've learned is just, keep your head down and keep going and don't give up. And what I try to, the message I try to spread to people, especially during these tough economic times, is just don't give up. And there are a lot of young people going through challenges right now. Some of the stuff I know you talk about, like mental health and things like that. And, we always got to just remember there are brighter days ahead and don't lose hope.
Absolutely. Couldn't say any better. And, there is hope. And when we talk about the future of this country, there's been a lot of things over the last 9 years that haven't gone the way they should, and it's caused a lot of people to hurt. And we are going to bring that hope, and I know you're going to be a big part of that. And with Prime Minister Pierre Poilievre, we're going to bring it home.
Yeah, let's bring it home.